Purdue as Mitchell looks for an answer.
Ooh, pure, nothing but net.
Garland to the basket, stole the inbound pass. He lays it in.
Basketball down there.
Very high percentage shot for him from that spot. Merrill for three. Tristan Thompson on the floor. Diaz for three. That's short. Hard rebound. Ricochets out to Merrill for three again.
For the We Like Sportz Show, tune in and see the latest the crew has to say regarding the latest sports topics nationally and locally. Make sure to check out our website as well, WeLikeSportsPC.com. Subscribe on all platforms, including podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and much more. And be sure to follow us on X at We Like Sportz PC.
It started with Anderson and Ramirez.
He said, let's go, right? Yeah, I'm sure he wants the game to start, but they won't let it. And rightfully so.
And welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus, with my co-host, Casey in Orlando. What's going on, my guy?
Nothing much. Watching the Guardians tied game right now. I'm sure everyone's aware in Cleveland. You know, Kyle Manzardo's debuting today, so struck out already, but we'll see how it goes throughout the game.
Well, I heard that Vogt has him only DHing, so he doesn't have to worry about playing the field. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to apologize to everybody out there. A little later show today than scheduled. Was going to be 5:30, then it was 6:30. Now it's 7, due to some circumstances that my doing. And Casey, I want to say this to you and everybody out there in the We Like Sportz Show Nation. If you have a home and things go awry, get them fixed quickly. I had some vents that some bathroom vents that got a little decrepit over the years, and the birds decided to make a home then through those vents in the attic. And because of that, I had to replace them today. But going up there with the big tall ladder, I found 4 birds that looked like they were fossilized. Now, usually you think of a bird, it would rot, it would be stinky, it'd be nasty. These birds looked so pristine, it looked like taxidermy. And but they're out now, and we're having a show. So like I said, take care of them birds, because sometimes those birds, they don't go away, or they don't even rot. So
you're treating them well up there, man. You're giving them good ventilation so that they weren't that happened to them.
I must have done that. But so you mentioned it first and foremost. We'll get into it. How about the Cleveland Guardians? Took 2 out of 3 from the Angels this past weekend. Like you said, big story, breakhead news. Kyle Manzardo up in Cleveland, up in the bigs, because Stephen Kwan just found out recently he's going to be out about 4 weeks. What's your thoughts about that, Casey?
I mean, I don't think it's a hot take by saying I think so far throughout the year he's been our best player. Leads the AL in batting average, which is great. Defensively he's great as well. High energy guy as well, I think, with the team. And this, I say it all the time, with the camaraderie of the teams. I think plays a major factor in having Quan on the team. I think helps with that. But I think it's going to suck missing him. It's a positive we get to see Manzardo, but it's sad that we have to see him because of an injury, not because we DFA'd Laureano, which I would prefer to happen because he's sorry so far this year. I thought he was a good signing, re-signed, but yeah, he's miserable so far this year. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do in this month that he'll be on the team.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I guess, looking at this past weekend, going back to the Angels series, 2 out of 3, they get rocked the first game, come back nice to win the next 2. But what I liked yesterday was the cookie did not crumble. Carlos Carrasco, once again, showed why he's at the major league level still, but I don't know how long that's going to last. I think, you're playing an Angels team that's not exactly a juggernaut, but, it's nice to see him get quality innings, help the team out that way. Yeah. And it's always a feel-good story when Carlos Carrasco can do good things in Cleveland.
That's the thing that's hurting us, man, is the starters aren't getting, that length. And that's the problem with McKenzie's he's like 60 pitches through 4 right now. But his issue is, like I just saw on a bet before we got on, 0-2 count, right, against a dude that's hitting less than 100, right? And then you end up throwing the full count out of it because you threw 3 pitches that weren't even being able to get touched.
You got to put
walked
him away.
him the first. Yeah, you walked him the first at bat, right? He's hitting 97. He's 7 for 73, right? And you walk a guy who's 7 for 73. But McKenzie's got 5 Ks, I think, or 6 Ks already, right? So he's doing good with that. It's just everyone knows this. He struggles with the command. Yeah. So he's walking those guys who keeps the pitch count up, which has been hurting us with the bullpen recently. With Hunter Gaddis, right? Everyone was high on him. He's been struggling ever since he played. Where did we play? Atlanta, right? Yeah. I think, and he started going downhill. That's where he's from, I believe, too. So I thought it was maybe just because of the pressure of that, but now he hasn't looked, the same as he did earlier in the year. But we got Hench's back too. He was called up today, so that's good. But my worry is if those starting pitchers aren't, like Ben Lively is the guy who's getting us the deepest in games. If you would have told me that, a month ago, 2 months ago, I'd have been like, there's no way we'll be having a win record if Ben Lively's leading us in, depth. So that's my one worry though for the team is the starting pitching length. And you see how many injuries are happening this year with arms, right? For relievers, for starters, and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But you know how this is. Cleveland fans jump off the boat right away, right? One bad thing happens, end of the world. It's like I'm not sure if you follow what account it is, but they have like the meter, and it's like the guards are their back never left.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I see that.
They lose 1-2 game losing streak. It goes from like all the way down. Never left to never was there. So it's it's just I tweeted it yesterday. I think Cleveland sports fans as a whole, I think, have some of the best fans in sports and some of the worst fans in sports. Because they're so reactive.
I think that's funny that you say that because I think the best fans and the worst fans, sometimes that's the exact same fan. It's just how they're at a particular day.
Exactly. Correct. I agree with you. It's just crazy how like the way the wind blows is how the person is for that. Like even the Cavs game, at first half, someone's like, fuck this, it's over. And then, oh my God, I never gave up. I knew they'd do it. Like it's the same person saying all that too.
I think a lot of it, look, when it comes down to it for, us that are a little older, and I may not look it, but I'm getting to be that way. And it's for me with this Guardians team is, we now have the longest drought in Major League Baseball when it comes to winning a World Series. And for me, I'll tell you what, I'll never get over the 97 World Series loss 2 outs away. But then 2016 happens. And it wasn't that 2016 happened and it was another Game 7. It was that they lost to the Chicago Cubs. The Boston Red Sox had, reversed their curse. Then the Cubs do it. And it's like, when is it our turn? And I think that with this Guardians team is like, they get on such a roll. And then when they lose 1 or 2 games, people like myself, maybe that are older, it's like they kind of see like, well, maybe this isn't going to be a season that's going to be special. Maybe, you start to think about the starters aren't going and getting the quality innings. And then the gloom and doom kind of sets in that way. Yeah. But we just
I've been there before too. Yeah. Right. You've seen me on here before. Like it's over. Like the Cavs went through it. Like I agree with you. It's hard not to live in the moment and react to what you see. And like you said, because it's Cleveland. If we weren't fans of Cleveland, if another team was doing it, hey, it is what it is. It's a normal season. But for us, because we're so used to negativity and bad things happening to us in Cleveland, I think we react, harsher on those kind of things.
Well, okay. Question to piggyback off the starters not going quality innings. What do you think the solution is going to be for the 2024 season to be successful for the Cleveland Guardians and say to win the division? Obviously, what will they need to do? Will they need to make a move at the trade deadline? Will it be just a Gavin Williams comes back and dominates? What do you see in your KC's crystal ball for the 2024 Guardians to get the starters to where they need to be? Because I would say they're probably the weakest link of this team so far. The hitting's been hitting better than what we had thought. The bullpen, I know they're overused, but you can't blame the bullpen. One of the best.
Yeah, exactly. So they're overused because of the starting pitchers.
Because of the starting pitchers. So what do you see happening? Maybe it does happen, maybe it doesn't.
It's tough too because you look like at baseball, right? And you look at the Guardians for the last however many years. Our strength has been pitching and our weakness has been hitting. Right? The bullpen's always been pretty steady. We haven't really heard about them. But our starting pitchers is what kind of kept us afloat, I would say. So it's unique that we're in the spot that we're in. The one good thing is watching, McKenzie last 3-4 games has looked better than he did to start the season. So that's good. And then you've got Ben Lively doing something I didn't expect him to look as good as he has been.
Right.
Gavin Williams worries me just because I'm sure you saw he got, was pushed back a little more because he had some pain in his elbow. And again, as a Cleveland sports fan and a Guardians fan, it's hard not to say, okay, this is going to be a wash. With Bieber getting hurt, that's what hurts us. But
Yeah.
I think that it happens every year too. Everyone's going to say we should make a move for a starting pitcher, make a move for something, right? This year it'll be starting pitching probably if we can keep hitting the way we're hitting,
Right.
And having the production we're having. I think, if Bo Naylor hits above 176, if Freeman pulls above 200, Florial starts doing something, right? Ramirez, there is still gaps on our hitting that, even going up 20 points, right? From a 200 to a 220 is a big difference. From Naylor hitting 176 to hitting 215 is a big difference, right? Even it's still a low average, but yes, it's a huge jump. And we're winning games with those guys hitting that low, know, and then Arias and Rocchio really not, standing out. I have hope that they'll turn it on because last year Naylor did. But I think at the trade deadline this year, we're going to say we need to trade for a starting pitcher. Because I said with the length. But who are we going to trade for, right? I don't think starting pitchers are out there, right? Because everybody's having these issues with injuries with starting pitchers. So I just can't see. I don't know what the move would be we make, at the throughout the season. Like,
I guess
what do we do?
And not only that, with the starting pitcher, what are you going to get, another third or fourth starter? You're not going to get an ace or like. I mean,
bingo.
That's the thing. What are you?
You're not. Get? Yeah, and then what if we do get an ace or someone that's good or like a high prospect, and we're giving away so many guys then, So it's tricky, with this, but I think that. It's just the same as it has been recently, right? What do we have? What do we have in the minors? What can we do to kind of help us here? Do we have a guy or two that can come out of nowhere and, stand out, right? So that's what I'm hoping for is we just have someone.
Well, we talk about the window of this Guardians team, and hopefully it's been kicked open. But does the front office think this is the year, or do they think maybe it's next year because Manzardo comes through, he gets his first year done with? What I'm saying? There's a lot of keys to this when it comes to the young hitters that we have. Like solving is Rocchio, is he going to be the guy? Is he going to I'm saying? There's still question marks that we have that maybe we're going to pull a 2022 win before we're supposed to, which is not always a problem, but sometimes it leads to next year. Then when you have a setback, then the fans kind of get a little agitated and everything. So it comes down to this, and I think the window for the Guardians is that 2 to 3 years, which I don't think this is the strongest of those years, and I think the front office knows that as well.
And I think that's fine. Looking at the scenarios we've had recently, Will Benson, Nolan Jones, Richie Palacios, even he's doing pretty well this year. Ahmed Rosario is killing it so far this year. But the thing with that is, I don't think, due to what's happened recently with us getting off those guys early and then kind of doing better when we get rid of them, I think we'll be more patient with those guys now this year, and kind of give them the run because they don't have that pressure with, like you said. I mean, our expectations right now are high because we're starting hot, right? But if we would have started around 500, I think it would be such a different story. So I don't think that the expectations of the team from the front office is going to change due to the start that we're on, right? I think they have a plan, like you said, a plan in place. 2 to 3 years, I see that this is just a start of it, which is good, right? We're exceeding expectations to start the year. And the great debate a couple of weeks ago was, remember, I talked about the Rays, right? So the Rays started so hot, they ended up in the, I think, wild card and then did nothing in the playoffs, right? But if we do that this year, will we be disappointed? Yes. But if you look back to 2 months ago when we were talking going into the season, what were the expectations we had? Our over-under for wins was 80. I think 78
with a rookie manager
that's the thing, a first-year manager with Bieber going out, Gavin Williams missing the first month or two.
Now Kwan's out.
That's what I'm saying. Ramirez isn't doing that great. So far isn't hitting that great. So like I said, with the circumstances we have, I think we're in a good spot. It's promising. I said, we see hope, right? And like I said, it's hard not to, again, it's hard to stay right here, not to react too well when we're doing good or react to go bad if we're doing bad.
Well, that's the fun of being a fan, and we need not apologize for that as well. But speaking of about around 500, are you a little bit shocked that the Oakland A's are 17 and 18 and only 2.5 games back? Does that shock anybody? I mean, I'm kind of
because we played them the irony of this is the Twins fans who are tweeting at us. Oh, we only have a good record because we played the A's. We played the A's for already had 2 series against them, and that's why our record's so good. Look at the A's now, though. 500. You take the games they lost against us, they'd be above 500, right? If they wouldn't have played us.
Am I going to regret this? Welcome, CJ, to the We Like Sportz.
Oh, man.
Hi, CJ.
1 second. I can't figure out my freaking things.
I knew I was going to regret it. I knew it.
He has some birds in his attic, man. He got some birds in the attic. He just can't.
Yeah.
They flew up to Cleveland. They flew up to old Brooklyn.
Behind the scenes, CJ over here, I was messaging, and he's giving me grammar lessons, and I did put the appropriate who is or whose.
No,
CJ.
Peyton didn't.
Oh, Peyton did. Okay.
I mean, Peyton's at the Guardians game drinking his soda, rooting for mustard, or the hell he's
Mustard, yeah, with 100 people.
CJ, what do you got for us today? Tell us something, because I was fighting birds in the attic and everything. What were you doing today? Anything good?
I was just putting him in the show.
Okay, fair enough.
I lost track of time. I looked up, it was 7.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about this Kyle Manzardo? You a big fan? You gonna be the
I think he's gonna go back down in about a month.
So what do you think there's an outcome he doesn't? Yeah.
If he goes out there and if he gets consistent at bats, he'll stay up.
Okay.
But the problem is you have the log jam and Fry's playing better than you expected, and Fry's probably going to go play every day in left, or they're going to have a rotation. If Manzardo, realistically, him and Josh Naylor should be every day at first base and DH. Maybe you'll protect him against lefties a little bit, but if he goes out there and he's batting, if he's getting up to the plate just like every third game or something, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they'll play him more consistently because, like you said, they know they have to give him consistent at bats to even set him up for success. Because if you don't, like you said, it's you're putting him in a hole there, and it's not really setting him in a good spot to to look good or even play good. So, but who do you think if he's hitting 275, 280, 300, right? That'd be fantastic. You think Laureano, man? I know we're paying him $5 million, but like
Laureano or Freeman. They seem to really like Tyler Freeman, but I feel like it'll be one of them.
Well, and they're
we'll see Quan move to center a little bit.
What's crazy to me though is they're batting Laureano in the 5 spot some games. They're pinch hitting, putting him in the pinch hit late in games.
They think he's good or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. That's what blows my mind.
Laureano's batting leadoff tonight.
Yesterday he did too, but we talked about with who the hell was it? With Freeman, right? He looked good to start the year, but now he's hitting sub 200, and he's
still getting on at a 300 clip.
Yeah, but he's had some issues defensively. Like yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys saw, there was a line. I mean, the line drive over his head, but he broke in like 5 steps. Yeah, and then I think he could have made the play.
There's going to be a learning process for him still.
Yeah, correct.
We can't all be naturals like myself, Casey.
Yeah, I like Tyler Freeman though.
I do too. I like him too. I think he's a good piece out there. I think
Straw could be on his way. I don't know what he's hitting, but I saw some Miles Straw highlights.
That's right, Ed.
Here's the deal. If you're going to have somebody in center field that can get you outfield assists and gun down runners at the plate, I'm all for that. My biggest thing with Miles Straw was
I don't see
that 240.
Here's my thing with Miles Straw, right? You're paying him and Laureano the same amount of money. I'd rather have Miles Straw up.
That's what I.
Yes.
I go back to I'll never understand why they paid Ramon Laureano.
And because I think Straw's also better.
Straw's not hitting in AAA. He's hitting 232.
I talked about this locker room presence. I think Straw's more of a better locker room presence.
I agree.
Than Laureano. I don't see Laureano ever interact. I feel like with anybody. Like you see videos after the game when they're putting water. I never see Laureano interact with anybody on this team.
I don't know he's on the team until he pinch hits or gets I don't even know he's on the team.
I agree with you. You don't see him ever unless he's coming in. Yeah, and I think where you could use him is like you talked about Straw before the season started as a defensive. Ninth inning, you put him in
7th, 8th inning. Get him in. You got some speed on the bench, maybe. I don't know. You can bunt on
but you're not pinch hitting Laureano. I don't think he's an upgrade over. Even if the matchup lefty right, I get this, but I don't think he's any upgrade over anybody you're putting.
I don't either. I think they overvalue him so much, and I just don't see it. I don't. And
I thought he was a good pickup last year. I thought nothing. He could play. He was on a bad team. Let's see what he can do.
I remember thinking he was a lot better than he was. And I looked at.
I think we all did.
And I was like, I would know. I'm saying. Then I looked at his numbers after he got him. Like, this guy sucks.
He had one good year.
Cole Calhoun was doing better.
I mean, it's.
But if the A's are cutting them, what is that saying? So.
Yeah,
we talked. The A's are 500 now. We're talking, but still.
Yeah, shout out to our boy out in Oakland.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, man.
He unfollowed me because he probably got mad at something I said.
I thought he was in your Fab Five, man. I thought he was in your.
He's not in the circle. He's not in the circle anymore.
Yeah, come on. What do you mean?
I mean, it's sad times, but he's gonna make it. I think before we move on to NBA basketball talk, because obviously something big happened in Cleveland yesterday, we will just pay some bills right now. And you know what time it is? It's Dubby time. That's right. Yes, thank you, CJ. What an energy
Dub
drink
sludge, baby.
It's at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash. If so, then try Dubby. Their products have no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. Dubby has great flavors such as Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dub Sludge. So head on over to w.gg, use coupon code We Like Sportz to get 10% off your order. Also, guys, got to mention the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe the Black Bookie. He'll get you set with his Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week because you want to add more coin to your man purse, Casey and CJ. And also, like I said, pat on the back to us at We Like Sportz. PC.com. All those great articles by Joe America and everybody else over there, and it just makes you feel good. And so you want to head on over to sportspc.com. And because we like to bet over here on the We Like Sportz Show.
Speaking of that, I got a $20 free bet for my birthday from my bookie.
My bookie, yes, because the NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot for cash to play on. You can even live stream and bet on games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you need to decide cash out or let's ride. So MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays, and new boosts are now posted daily. It's more than just a sportsbook, buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and community to share all of your sweats. Don't be sweating that up. So give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code SPORTS. That's sports with a Z. When you make your first deposit, that's promo code SPORTS with a Z to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Yay. Want to do that? Yeah, but that was a new promo, by the way. That was a new promo. And you know what? I'll say this to Peyton Vince last week, who did a great job, but he didn't bring up.
Oh, it's terrible. I tried to join. I got booted off.
He didn't bring up the Dubby.
Oh, my God. The president. He's the president, dude. He's the president.
Bad for him and Keith, man.
Aren't you the vice president, Casey? Oh, you don't want to claim that, do you? You don't want to mention that, do you?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I'll be the Speaker of the House then. Fair enough.
All I'm saying is, before we get off of the baseball topic, whoever is the home plate ump for the Guardians game today is fucking horrible. These calls just benefited us, but he just called a pitch that was a whole ball below the zone. Next pitch was a curveball, whole ball above the zone, calls that a strike, punches out Marcana. Again, thank you, because we're Guardians fans, but those are horrible. I don't know whoever this dude is behind home plate, but he's horrible tonight.
Okay. Well, speaking of what's not horrible is the NBA playoffs, and Casey's hat says it all, the land right there. Cleveland Cavaliers get it done, erasing the Orlando Magic out of the playoff. What do you think? What are your thoughts? CJ, we'll start with you, CJ. What are your thoughts about the Cleveland Cavaliers? And maybe
I hate JB Baker's staff. They need to fire him. They need to let Luke Walton coach the series against the Celtics. It is so painful to watch this man coach. Like, it is just like, don't get me wrong. Like, I honest to God, I should have placed a live bet. They were down like 18 or whatever. I was like, Cavs are going to come back and win this game. Goes to Orlando, is just playing like shit. Like, as good as Orlando is playing, as bad as the Cavs were playing, it felt like they should have been on like 30. And like it was like 15. I was like, this is terrible right now. Finally puts Sam Merrill in. Sam Merrill comes in, hits a three. LeVert, it's like he just
Twitter has been calling for Merrill too.
He takes he doesn't take good timeouts. Like, there's times you just got to stop it, take a timeout. Like, him challenging the one play was big because they took a timeout. Right? Yeah. It just like he has no sense of like what's going on. Like I would love to hear the circus music that's going on in between JB's ears.
No, it's just him yelling at the ref every time. It's like, what am I going to say to this ref? And he comes back down the court. That's about all it is. I don't. I was on the Bickerstaff train. You both know that. I'm not anymore. The last, I would say, 2 months, I was.
He stinks. I've been calling for his head since like January. Yeah. Like, even when they were winning games, like I was on here.
I know. I know.
Like it just.
I can admit I was wrong. Yeah.
So no matter what happens this season, you both would fire JB Bickerstaff.
But that's what's tough, though. Like
still fire him. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I would too.
What if this we go to
barring the finals appearances?
Yeah.
If we upset the Celtics, you still. That's why I'm worried. Like,
say you upset the Celtics.
How long is Porzingis out?
I know.
Is he out for the
series?
That's
the question.
If Porzingis is out, I think that we have a very.
Well, say for instance, you beat Boston. Okay, you beat Boston. Then you play the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals and get swept, or 4-1.
Yeah, if you get swept or losing 5,
you're really better off than what you were the year before. If you can't get past the Knicks,
if you get swept for the Celtics, I think he's gone. If it doesn't go to 6 or 7,
they got to go to 6.
Yeah, close, and it can't get blown out.
I don't even think it matters if it's close, because if it's close, then it's probably going to be like a bonehead JB decision.
Yeah, that costs us a game. Yeah, probably. Or a rotational thing, or somebody's not playing somebody that's hot.
Listen, George Niang played 3 minutes last night. I was on here.
Luzardo struck out again.
It was 3 minutes too many. He went in there and missed 2 shots, and they were -9 in that 3 minutes.
And he knocked down Okoro on that one.
Yeah,
like he fucking clobbered him on the ground.
Like remember when we just stopped playing Isaac Okoro against the Knicks? Like that's what they need to do with George Niang. I do not want to. I don't even want to see him in like at this point. It's a costume for him. He's out here impersonating a basketball player.
3-year contract. I said this a couple weeks ago.
Getting in trouble. I mean,
and Strus, I mean, stepped up later in the game, but like he's not looked great this postseason, the series, right? He you forget he's on the floor. He's not even doing anything for a while. Only time I remember is when he complains to the ref, right? That's the only time you actually see him, doing something.
I did think Orlando was a terrible matchup for him because Orlando was.
But that's who we wanted. We blew the division. We said no, we don't want the Central Division title, which we could have had, and we said let's play Orlando.
Get it right. It wasn't Orlando. It was we didn't want to face the Sixers or the Heat. It didn't specify the team we'd play. It was we didn't want to face those two.
Oh, fair enough. But you kind of knew what you were going to get.
I've been thinking they were a bad. Like even when they played Orlando, they played them twice in March, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I went to the 2 games here. Yeah. They were split this season.
And like I said, I've bad against Orlando. Like at no point did I ever think Orlando was a good match.
Well, the thing that worried me was Game 6. I believe was when we started Morris, correct? Yes. And they ran that big lineup. The start, I think 4 of their starters were 6'10" and above. With Jared Allen out,
if Franz Wagner doesn't go 1 for 37 or whatever he shot, like. They're done, dude. Right, him and Suggs want to combine 3 for. I'm looking at 3 for 28.
What are you guys' thoughts on? Let's be real. The chance of the Cavaliers is not Donovan Mitchell because he's going to be Donovan Mitchell. Is Darius Garland? Is he going to be Mr. Turnover late in the fourth quarter? What kind of Darius Garland are we going to see against the Celtics?
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. Like, we don't know.
Even Evan Mobley.
He's a max player, guys. He's a max player.
We've been talking about Evan Mobley. I don't want to go back to Evan Mobley, but like right at his best, like Evan Mobley, we've been saying it.
But what do you? Yeah, but what do you do? Because like defensively, he is a presence, right? He won us that game 5.
I think offensively, it is the sets are. I will say overall, offensively, like the sets are horrible. It's. Crazy pick and screen. Even like Garland will get to then he's got to like do some crazy pass like around a guy. Like
he misses a lot of layups, guys. He misses a lot of layups.
I think his confidence is gone. That's what I think the issue is his confidence. He has none because he even said it when he had those 20-some points in Game 5. He said like I needed that. People talking shit about me around me. I hear it. I needed to get motivated.
Stop
right?
listening.
But he motivated him. He said. Right, I think he's lost his confidence, and that's what it shows because he's been struggling so much. And Mobley, like I'm saying, my issue with him is defensively. I think he's great. Right, you see it, 5 blocks last 2 games.
Mobley had 6 turnovers last night.
There's the issue there as well as with he's getting pushed around by fucking Cole Anthony.
Mobley, when you
Like-
watch him play, like right, we talk about how like Jared Allen's like quiet on the screen, and you look up and it's 20 and 15. Like Mobley, he's all over the screen. You look down, it's like, dude, he's got 11 fucking points.
Yeah, but he gets shoved around too much, and we all talked. If he just needs to put muscle on, if he can put muscle on and be down there, that's the issue, man. If you get, I've said it when we played. I forgot, was it Valanciunas or somebody? Oh, Nurkic. When we played the Suns, I remember I watched that game.
Yeah, like 20 boards, right, Nurkic?
Yeah, he bullied the shit out of Mobley because he couldn't stop. If you get a big guy like Horford, right? We're playing Horford because Porzingis is out. If Horford gets down on him and Jared Allen's out, I agree, but he's got that sturdy.
Horford's like Ed's age.
Yeah,
he's
I remember when he was with
Tristan
Atlanta,
Thompson.
and then he was with all these other teams that we faced, and with LeBron and those Cavaliers. Yeah.
I agree, but I'm just saying you get a big guy against
If
Mobley,
Al
he's
Horford
pushing us
cooks
around.
Evan Mobley, we need to move on from that.
I think
It's
you're
rebounding.
right, CJ.
It's rebounding. That's what I'm worried. If we can't get out rebound, if we got Jared Allen, we're good.
When is
Jared
Jared Allen
Allen's
coming back? Anybody got any word on
He's
that?
questionable.
I
at seven.
think he'll probably be back game 2 or 3.
Game 2, yeah.
Yeah, we got to take one, I think, in Boston, though. If we go down 0-2,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
And if we lose one at home, we're done. If we don't take the 2 at home, we're fucked. We have no
Freeman,
shot.
2 for 2. He's over 200, by the way.
He just did a double, yeah. But then he got fucking thrown out at third base, though.
74.
Yeah, that's what I told
Is
Ed.
it
Yeah.
time to have a conversation about Bo Naylor again?
Nah. But what's your options?
What?
You know, like that's. I
more,
think
more hedges, or whatever.
Hey, he had a bomb over left field.
He
man.
did.
Over
No,
the
hey,
hedges,
he
huh?
did. Yeah. Better than.
If you look up on StatMuse, what's the Cleveland Guardians record with Austin Hedges on the team?
Yeah.
And without Austin Hedges on the team, we got a winning record with them. So
Casey's
he helps, dude. He helps. I told you, he helps in the clubhouse and he helps
It's
behind
vibes,
the plate
man.
calling a game. Yeah, it's the vibes. I'm telling you, and
I
he's
just
good
think
at calling
my
a
dad,
game.
every time my dad shit talks Bo Naylor, he does something. So I'm hoping that starts working for him.
Well, normally for me too. I used to
He
shit talk.
shit-talked Bo
Your
Naylor.
dad shit talk CJ. I would have never guessed
Dude,
that.
he shit talked Bo Naylor. He called me
Cliff.
up. He called me up and was like, usually, like the first time Bo Naylor, I remember Bo Naylor, he's got 3 home runs. The one day he went deep, he like, put up a whole like Facebook thing about it. The when he hit the grand slam, whatever it was, he called me up like an inning, like that inning. It was like, why the fuck is Bo Naylor out there? Bo Naylor stinks.
That would
Grand
happen with
Slam.
Roberto Perez for me. I used to shit talk Roberto Perez, and once I call him a trash can, fucking 3 for 4 home run, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this is a career game. Yandy Diaz, I remember, I went to the game back in the day. He hit for almost a cycle the game I went to, and I was shit talking him the whole time. It's a fucking I think a triple, a single, and a double the game I went to, and like won
Who's
the
coming
game.
out of
and I
the
was
West,
shit-talking
Dad?
Wow. Oh, jeez. I think
Timberwolves?
These West series are wild because, like, I don't even know they're on TV.
Yeah, I'm not ready to
Well,
anoint the
wait.
Timbers. I know they stole game 1 against Denver, but I'm still like thinking
They're
Denver.
not going to crown their ass?
Not
Not going to crown
yet.
their ass?
I
yet?
like Ant.
I don't know.
like
Denver played bad against the
I know.
Lakers.
Yeah. It's fun. The West is fun with Minnesota and OKC. I'll tell you, those two young
The
teams.
Mavericks are fun too.
Yeah, with Kyrie.
It's those,
yeah.
it's those additions they made too with PJ Walker, Gafford. I mean, they're not
Yes,
big
the ones.
names,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
but they're good role players that they needed. And I think if they could have messed with that trade deadline, I thought they had
Jason
a
Kidd's
chance
a
to do
good coach
something.
You
too.
think the Pacers have a shot? Pacers got a shot against.
I think they do.
I think the Pacers have like a real shot. Like
It
Do
reminds-
you remember we shit talked them though after the in season tournament? I remember people on this show were saying, "Oh, well, they're not. They just stepped up for that because they went downhill after that and they climbed back towards the end of the season." But
Halliburton's-
people weren't saying they're for real. I know.
Yeah.
It's like SGA.
Halliburton's numbers post All-Star break though have been like low key ass. Like compared
you
to
got-
pre All-Star break numbers.
But they got guys on the team though that not just him. Like that.
It's
That's
going
the,
6 games regardless. Whoever wins it. 6
I
or
think
7.
I think 7.
I think 7. I think Indiana wins in 7, but I think the Knicks could win it in 6. I think they could.
Who would you rather face if we were to advance?
I think Indiana.
With the Knicks for like. If
I
we
think
beat the
Indiana
Knicks-
because the Knicks are like our boogeymen.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I
the
agree.
whole New York is their boogeyman. Like whether it be the
Yeah.
baseball or basketball, we always just choked in
Knicks
New York.
got some
always.
guys though between.
But they got those role players: Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. I mean, Josh Hart's huge, I think, on that team.
Josh Hart messed with Spider Mitchell's chain, and we didn't even do anything about it.
So like if we beat the Celtics, we faced the Knicks and we won, it would feel so much more rewarding. But
I would love a Knicks Celtics playoff matchup though.
And then lost to the Knicks, it hurt even more though. That would hurt the most if we beat the Celtics, lost to the Knicks.
Where they went to New York last year, I don't want to play the Knicks. I think whoever comes out of the West is going to sweep the finals. Like unless it's Boston. I just think the teams out west are too.
They're really good. They play a better style of basketball.
I mean, Minnesota's insane. Like the Nuggets are still great.
Well, Nuggets got that is like experience too.
That's why I don't count them
Dallas.
Out. So I'm sure you guys didn't see because you're talking about the West. The ESPN posted their top 20 valuable players in the first round of the playoffs. What is crazy to me is like if you go through. Jokic is 1, Edwards is 2. Donovan Mitchell's not in the top 20 of most valuable players in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Banchero's not in the top 20 either on this list.
What is their criteria?
Isn't this incredible? So I'll go through real fast. It's Jokic, Edwards, LeBron, Kyrie, Derek White,
White,
Davis, Jalen Williams, SGA, Porter Jr., Tatum, Doncic, Harden, Franz Wagner, Brunson, Maxey, Gobert, Siakam, Towns, and Booker. And Banchero and you know what I'm saying? And
the Suns blow it up, you think?
No, but they should.
Yes.
You don't think they're gonna blow it up?
No.
Wait, what's KD without the Warriors, man?
Yeah.
If you take him off the Warriors, what is he? He hasn't done anything. With all the teams
if
he's
the
had.
Suns blow it up, dude, they get so many picks. Between KD and Booker.
Are you trading all 3 of them then, right? Because Booker's not going to want to stay.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If you go back to 3-4 years ago, when they had Ayton, Chris Paul, and Booker when they made it, they blew that team up, and they didn't get to where they got with that team with these guys now.
Right.
So on paper they're better, but it's like the Nets.
They got no point guard. It's the same thing with the Magic, though. The Magic don't have a point guard.
Right. It's like
the Magic had an actual point guard. The Magic would have beat the Cavs last night.
Yeah, because Suggs is not a point guard, and Gary Harris isn't a point guard.
No,
Cavs should trade Darius Garland for that Banchero guy. How about that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I hate the Magic now. I'll tell you that. After watching this series, I can't fucking stand Jalen Suggs. I can't stand either Wagner. I can't really. I respect Banchero. I think he's gonna be
so good.
Ed, cause for concern with Bo Naylor, right? Sorry, don't mean to keep going back to Bo Naylor. Last year, 67 games.
Yeah.
53 strikeouts this year in 26 games, 37 already. That's a lot of strikeouts.
God. That's baseball now.
-2 WAR.
That's like Peyton Vince on Tinder.
He's not a grinder, though. He's batting 1,000.
He's not 1,000.
At Guardians games, is betting 1 million, dude. It's like every day.
That's why he's going there.
He has not missed a game. He has not missed a game yet.
Wow.
He's buying those passes or whatever.
I don't know what his life is that he can go to every game and not miss a game. Like how he just has that much time and with a job and everything. That it's softball. That's what amazes me. And he's blowing off playoff games for the Cavs to watch an afternoon 1 p.m. game against the Angels. Mind blows me. Missing a game 7 of the Cavs. But
talk about going all in on a team.
Over under 2 Jumbotron appearances this year for Peyton.
Yeah, I'm waiting to catch him on TV. I haven't seen.
Does he get on the Jumbotron at least 2 times? 1.5.
I think it's a push. He gets on 2 exactly.
You think it's all right? 1.5.
But do you think he taps out like once we get to the summer, right? It's like July. Do you think it's not gonna be?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I don't know.
What's our over under for games he attends?
For games attended, exactly.
He already got. He got 13 or 12 now.
Okay, so basically, there's about 68 games left. He's got 68 games left.
No, even said it with the 81. I'm giving you a 13 run advantage.
You're giving me a free 13. You're giving
you the 13. So of the 81 in the season,
you already know. You already know.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Over under 34.5.
I say goes over.
I think it goes over.
Yeah.
I say it's
50,
around 40.
I say
I
50.
say around 40.
I say they get bad. If they tail off, they're like playing bad baseball. We will not see a Peyton minutes Guardians pose.
Wow.
Correct. Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree. Yes, if they get shitty, yep, he's peacing out.
Wow.
Here, Ed, do you think Wenzel Perez is a baseball player or a made up name I give you?
Wenzel Perez, that's got to be a made up name.
Baseball
He's player right now.
I'm watching it as well. Yeah, I'm watching it. So nice try on that one.
Wenzel Perez, yeah. Wencel.
Wow.
Number 46.
Speaking
300. Yeah.
Speaking of going bad, this is Ed in Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news. Kyle Larson won the NASCAR Series race in Kansas by a nose, and the Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan actually won by a nose. On Sunday, Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers put off a magic trick against Orlando by erasing an 18-point deficit in Game 7. No rabbits were needed for that trick. And finally, at the roast of Tom Brady, Patriots owner Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick did a shot together on stage. No word on if Belichick took Kraft up on his free massage offer after the show. Hey now. And this is Ed in Columbus with you. We Like Sports breaking news. How'd I do, CJ? How'd I do?
I thought it was great.
I mean, I do like you brought up your favorite NASCAR racer. Since you're a big fan of what he said a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if you're aware of what he said, Ned.
Yeah,
What did he say?
Controversial.
He was on the E during COVID. He was doing e-racing, and they had like all the headsets, and he dropped the N bomb on it. So.
Joe America.
Yeah, exactly. Joe America's favorite NASCAR.
Joe America's buying a jersey.
Oh my! Shout out to Joe America. He does good work. Well, we did that. We did. With you guys, it's so easy. That CJ is just playing along. He's been a good sport. I'm loving.
Well, Wenzel Perez got walked. If you're curious, on 4 pitches, and that we just yanked out Tristan McKenzie after walking Wenzel Perez. So,
Hedges is pitching to him.
Henches. They used to yank Henches out. Sorry.
I do want to do one great debate today between you guys because I think this is very important for me because I'm old.
Yeah, you are old.
But I want to do this.
In 2024 and beyond, don't forget to tune in to
And we're going to have the great debate. Oh, yeah.
the We Like Sportz Show presents to you the Great Debate.
Why'd they put Nick Sandlin in? He stinks.
Yeah, why are they putting? Okay, great. Okay, CJ, I'll let you have that. That's a good, legitimate concern here. But going back to the great debate, we had great NBA talk, and I want to know you guys' opinions on this. So what I'm going to do is I'll throw it out there, and whoever wants to grab it, they can take it, and they can go first or second, depending on if they take it. And here is the great debate question. The NBA is better with no dynasties. We got, if you look in the past like 6 years, it's been, Toronto, it's been Golden. I know, what I'm saying, we haven't had these dynasties winning. It's every year. It's been like Milwaukee won it a year. It's been kind of nice. Even if you look at this year, I mean, whoever wins it, I mean, it might not be Denver, could be the Timberwolves, and then maybe next year it's OKC. Maybe
better how?
Is it better as a fan watching basketball with no dynasties? Who wants to take? What do you want, C? What position do you want, CJ?
I kind of want to say it's not.
Okay, fine. Do you want to go first or second?
Gut reaction is it's not better, right?
Okay.
Because here's the thing about dynasties. Like dynasties have recognizable stars. Like people, I think it's weird that the Nuggets game's at 10 o'clock tonight. Right, like dynasties that don't happen. Like dynasties are associated with stars. So, like, as much as a star Jokic is, like, I do think of him as like must-watch TV. And every time I see the Nuggets on, I can try to make sure I watch.
Mm-hmm.
But if he loses, am I really going to be interested in like a Timberwolves Thunder Western Conference Finals? Right, like the part of that of me is like out. If the Warriors were still in, even if they would have made it past the plan, if they were the one, I'm watching that Warriors series.
Okay.
For me, dynasties are interesting. I think things are always more interesting. And I think of even beyond NBA, like MLB. Like I didn't watch him. I watched Maction instead of Rangers Diamondbacks. Right? Like dynasties will like have it, they always invoke like some kind of like rooting interest. Whereas like without them, and if your team's not in, then you're just watching to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better like when you have a dog in the fight, whether you're rooting for or against the dynasty, right? It always the Giants when they were on their run, like goes beyond like the Warriors, right? Cavs, I mean that one's easy for us because Cavs and Warriors, but
the Bulls of the '90s,
people the Patriots,
you're
either rooting for the Patriots in the Super Bowl, you're rooting against them, right? You're not necessarily rooting for like the Falcons or the Rams or whoever else they played. Chiefs right now, right? You're either going to root against the Chiefs, root for the Chiefs. So I do. I think dynasties make it much more like fun to watch because even when your team's out of it, you kind of like, oh yeah, all right, Patrick Mahomes. Want to watch Patrick Mahomes? Dynasties help create stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good response. Okay, Casey, your rebuttal. You will be the anti-dynasty guy.
I don't have a white flag anywhere in here, but
I've done that. I've just been like with Keith. I agree.
I do.
Well, then I'm gonna. I say
if you white flag. Okay, perfect. Can I side?
Go ahead. Go tag team with them. That's fine.
Perfect. So he brought this up. I will support CJ's argument with facts, with numbers behind what he just said. So if you look like he said in recent history, in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, all those finals games had over 10 million viewers a game, right?
Dude.
He's like juiced up for this take. That's why.
Brother.
See, get some Slim Jims in there too. So if you look in the last few years, when you look at the Nuggets, right, those games, the most only had 7 million. So
with the Nuggets lowest beat the Heat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and that's part of it,
The lowest viewership in that Cavs like Warriors dynasty per se from 2016 to 2018 looks like it was 9.3, and the highest since then was 10.7. It's the only one that even beat it, and that was the final game against the Raptors and the Warriors. But that's also including the Warriors. You take them out, it's only 7 million viewers.
Throw this in against Ed before he goes, right? Like dynasties lead to rivalries. You know what I mean? Like Lakers Celtics became a rivalry because of dynasties. Red Sox Yankees take on more. Chiefs like Bills, even though like you know what I mean? Like dynasties lead to these. Like,
I wanted the Niners to win because I hated the Chiefs. I didn't want the Chiefs to win.
Yeah, you're
same with the Patriots
against the Chiefs, not for the Niners. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. So like
that's what we did with them.
It's hard to say because like as a fan, I don't want to see the Chiefs win every year. But like he said, I didn't watch one World Series game between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Yeah. I'm okay. I'm happy that those two were in there because I don't want to see the same team win every year. But for viewership, it's better for the sport if it's the same teams or
Alabama football was good for college football, right? Georgia winning back-to-back national championships. Right, granted, you take away like the TCU, but no, I'm saying you take away the TCU nonsense, right? When they're winning all these games in a row, and like Ohio State's putting like boot to ass on them, and they're going to keep them from becoming, like, you know what I mean? They're going to keep them from becoming like that is like where you get like really good football games, right? Michigan winning a natty has elevated the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, so it just makes things matter a lot more when you have dynasties.
So Ed, why is parity good then?
I appreciate both of your responses as you guys tag team each other. I don't know if you guys do that after hours either. That's your business. But here's what I'm going to say.
Hey, we're DX, man.
Right. Yeah. The great debate will be great again because I'm hopping on and I'm hopping in and I'm going to get it done. And here's the reason why. Dynasty.
He could be the judge. He's the judge.
Good. It's good not to have dynasties, and here's why.
Not baiting stuff.
I don't disagree with maybe your overall partake of growing the sport, and people like to get on the bandwagon. They did it with the Bulls in the 90s with Jordan. Look at the Steph Curry stuff. I get it. Growing the sport from the casual fan, but the die-hard fan of a sport, say the die-hard fan of the NBA, let's be real. When you have different fan bases winning, look, in 2019, started from the bottom. Now we're here. You got the Six. You got Toronto. You got Drake. You got things going on there.
Toronto did win us.
You got Milwaukee winning.
The Warriors.
You got Milwaukee
The
winning.
Lakers bubble.
Yeah, the Lakers in 2020. Thanks for making my point, CJ. It's fun that different fan bases, the diehards that can, win a title instead.
Don't agree. Dog doesn't agree.
Chip disagrees. He's down here.
Some of these dynasties, they take the fun away. Think about this. Think about the great teams in the 90s with those Utah Jazz with Stockton and Malone. Didn't get it done because the Bulls dynasty killed. Think about that.
Yeah, but it made those games good. Like it made Jazz and Bulls a rivalry.
I am not arguing. I'm saying that.
I feel like that's good for the sport. You know what I mean?
I think what it comes down to is good play for the sport can translate no matter how it's getting done. Look at those 96 team with Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, that Supersonics team didn't get it done. Those Bulls, look at the Knicks team.
I think dynasties bring in more casuals, and I don't think they really lose diehard.
In 1998, the Bulls and Jazz had 22.3 million viewers in Game 6.
Yeah.
Like I don't think dynasties lose diehards, right? I think they bring in casuals.
Right.
And we kind of go to your favorite guy, right?
Peyton. They just hit a home run to Peyton over there in right field off the foul pole. Jose.
I think we can go to your number one guy, Ed. Who do you acknowledge more than anybody?
Roman.
Right.
Reigns.
And that was a dynasty.
Yes.
And that brought a lot of people in to wrestling.
But I think what
storyline is why people brought in for wrestling. Yes, I agree with that.
I'm not saying not having a dynasty is not better than having one. I'm saying that it's good for the sport to go in cycles where, we might be in a 10-year cycle in the NBA.
Yeah, but like Patrick Mahomes, let's say he goes to over the next – they won back-to-back, right, the Chiefs?
Yes.
Let's say they go to – in the next 5 years, they go to another 2 Super Bowls, right? And they win one more, right? They're a dynasty. Right. Like that would make it a 7-year window now,
right.
4 or 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 victories, whatever the case may be, right? That's good for football, right? Because they got people trying to step their game up to knock Mahomes off. More people.
But dynasties
and the viewership would go up.
When you talk about a dynasty in the NBA, you're talking about winning 3 or 4 championships, maybe sometimes in a row, like the Lakers. Like in football, that usually never happens. A dynasty is making maybe 3 out of 5 Super Bowls, but a dynasty in football.
Yeah, but I think the Pats have such a dynasty in football. Like the Pats dynasty spanned fucking
20 years.
20 years. You know what I mean? But like that, made it's almost like what's Batman without the Joker in some of these instances, right? What's Brady without Manning? Because that was the rivalry for so long.
Yeah, correct. Brady was the Batman, and then Joker was like you said, Manning, and then you had some other teams that you were in.
And then you see kind of like the Colts went to 2 Super Bowls. You got smaller ones within the larger concept.
Right.
If Steph Curry, if he won those 2 series that he lost, right? If he beats the Cavs in 2016 and nobody gets hurt in the
2019 one,
right? That's what. He's got 4 rings now?
Yeah, he's got 4, yeah.
He's got 4. That's 6 rings for Steph Curry. 6-0 in the finals.
Yep.
Right. That's what, you know what I mean? That helps make these guys that it's like, oh, that guy could be the greatest guy of our
But here's my thing.
And you say, but as you say, championships make the legacy.
Right, but CJ and Casey, if that happens, in your scenario, if that happens, Giannis doesn't have a ring. The NBA is better that Giannis has a ring.
Is it though? I don't think he's made it out of the first round since he's got one.
But here's the thing. But look, it's all about having a number of stars. Steph Curry is still a star, whether it's 4 rings or 6.
Yeah, but Giannis is still a star. Same thing to me.
But now
he's a star.
No, Giannis was a star. Dan Marino,
Charles Barkley. Dan Marino was a star, right? You don't necessarily need a ring. We put these on these guys that need a rings.
No rings
to be stars, but like Giannis isn't going to go down.
Kawhi Leonard,
but Giannis isn't going to go down as a top 5 player.
But then if you don't have a legacy,
look at Dirk, right? The Heat was supposed to be this dynasty, and when the dynasty doesn't arrive, Dirk in 2011. If Dirk doesn't have his ring, how bad does that hurt Dirk's legacy?
A shit ton,
right? But because
Tim Duncan didn't have his,
though. But I'm saying Dirk's legacy rose so much because of how he played to get his ring.
Okay,
people don't even remember the Giannis.
You're obviously a Kendrick Lamar fan. Look, Drake got his ring in 2019. He was part of the Raptors team. You know what I'm saying? So let's be real.
Same with the dude that sat in the front row with the turban on all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying, it makes the moment when these teams that are supposed to be the team, when they lose, it makes that even
that's why
I think it makes it even cooler. Right? Look at Eli Manning. If Eli Manning didn't beat the Pats, right?
Right.
If Eli Manning doesn't beat the Pats, let's say he beats the Steelers and the Jaguars, right? Is he a Hall of Famer? Probably not.
Yeah, probably.
The Cavs too, right? If the Cavs don't beat the Warriors, coming off 72-9, let's say who'd they play the round for the Thunder? Let's say the Thunder don't blow that lead.
Right.
right? The Cavs beat the
Mhm.
Thunder in 7. Does that make it more special? No.
No, it made it less special. It would make it less special.
Right,
The
I
fact
would
that it
agree.
meant more is that storyline that was built from the previous years that we couldn't go over that hump. And we finally, it would have meant a lot still. But the fact that we beat the Warriors meant more because of that dynasty.
Well,
that was
here's what
built
I'm gonna
against
do.
us.
I'm gonna do. Look, I every time I speak, it's great, but I'm gonna give you guys the victory.
I
How
do
nice
think
it
this
be.
was a
The
great-
nice Casey and
Might have been a
CJ
great
tag team
debate.
a victory in the great debate, and that's how that's gonna end.
Well, don't worry. When you put it on Twitter and you put it on
I'm not
TikTok
gonna
and all that
shit
shit,
talking.
No, I
they're gonna
honestly
shit talk. Don't you worry.
That guy in the hat, he.
Look, I
Every
agree. I
single
agree
time.
that look, dynasties are good for the sport.
I think dynasties are awesome for
I
sport.
do. I do agree with that. It's just I think my whole take from that was I think I'm enjoying the NBA because
I
whether
do think though,
OKC
yeah,
or
I
Minnesota. Isn't it fun to watch Minnesota and OKC?
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I'm not trying to say that
Stars
like
being
it's
born.
bad when teams win,
Yes.
but like when you can have like the same kind of teams get there, right?
Yeah.
If you know that Kawhi, right? That kind of did take Kawhi. I mean, he's fallen off since 2019, but like him, like carrying them over this fucking Warriors team. Granted, they're hurt.
That was pretty
that
cool.
That made Kawhi like at the time like a top 5 player.
If he would have stayed on the Raptors, I think he would have had a better career after that than if he went to the
like
Clippers.
we don't look. I probably wouldn't think Kawhi's like a top 20 player now.
No, I would
Right.
agree with that. Yeah.
But like if at the time though,
But
him
look at his
beating
career,
them, there were times people thought he was coming off to that he was the best player in the NBA.
Yes.
People out there trying to make a case for that. Right. So when you have guys that kind of do this and they take down the big bad wolf.
But he
pushes
left
it
and
up.
didn't create a dynasty.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing. He could, if he would have stayed with the Raptors and saw what he could have done and kind of taken them back the next year.
Could Kyrie and
think
LeBron could they have had a dynasty?
Yeah, they could have had a dynasty. And then if they lose to, if they would have lost, here's one, right? In what was LeBron's last year here?
2018.
2018, right? So when they played Boston in the Eastern
Yep.
Conference Finals, if Tatum beats LeBron, like Tatum he ascends into the superstar level.
Yeah.
Right. If Anthony Edwards
and the Warriors beating LeBron made the Warriors, I think, dynasty higher up because it
was
the best
LeBron.
player.
That's
it was
part of
LeBron.
it right now with the Timberwolves, right? Anthony Edwards. I know the Suns aren't a dynasty, but he went and took on this team that was supposed to be. And he sweeps them. Now, if he goes and he beats Joker,
wow.
Yep.
he goes and he beats the Nuggets,
agree.
right? Then he's going to take that level. And Anthony Edwards is top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah,
Right now.
you need those teams that have that kind of championship caliber team.
Somebody's the
so
man,
people can
right?
beat them. Yeah.
When Ric Flair won when Ric Flair beat Harley Race to win the NWA title in 1983, right? That's what made
Right.
Ric
That's
Flair.
what May 6, 2024, today's date. Who's winning the West right now if you had to pick? That's tough.
Minnesota. No, you know what?
Won't hold you to. I just want to see. I want to see next week when I ask.
I don't like Cat. I don't like Gobert. That's the thing that gets me is I don't.
Yeah,
like
but
either
I
one of
feel
those
like
two
they're
guys.
a good matchup for Denver, and then I feel like the way that's why, like in the back of my head, I don't want to say like who do I want to win the West is Dallas.
I like that.
I want to see this
Look, that's-
Kyrie and Luka thing work.
Okay.
That's what's tough is like I don't mind even if OKC did all those teams. I don't hate any of them. All 4. I don't hate any of those teams.
Yeah.
So like it's.
I
it's
just don't
I
wanna
crazy.
see-
really want to see Luka get a ring.
That would be the Slovenians would love you. The
Right.
Slovenians.
Here's my thing about Luka. I want a Luka. Like I want this little chubby foreigner that just goes out and fucking is awesome. Like I want a Luka.
Anybody that wears 77 deserves a ring.
Yeah, he's out here.
I'll go get my Luka jersey.
Lyman jersey.
Who gets a ring first, Baker or Luka?
Luka. Baker never gets a
Luka.
ring. I mean, Baker get one as a backup.
Could you imagine Baker Mayfield gets a ring before the Browns?
The Falcons were my pick to win the South up until they drafted Michael Penix.
I was going to say, what about now?
Bucks
I
gonna
didn't
win
think
the South.
I do have some NFL news. I just wanted to go run by you guys. What do you guys think? OBJ is a Dolphin. What are your words on that?
I do not understand it.
Okay. I thought he was retiring wasn't last year.
He should retire.
But what team? Yeah, what team do you think would be like a perfect fit for OBJ?
Retirement.
The NFL
Retirement,
on
exactly.
Fox.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
on Fox.
I heard
Him
him and Kim Kardashian broke up. So
Monday Night Countdown. That'd be a great team for Odell.
No, I would know him and Antonio Brown could do that CTESPN shit.
Yeah, there you go.
I like
That's what OBJ
Odell. He
could do.
seems like a real likable guy. Just
You would be.
He didn't play for the Browns.
You would be his cracker of the day.
he's just not like
that's
he's
Antonio
just
Brown.
not-
My bad. Yeah,
I don't even think he's like. You're telling
he's
me
not running that account, is he?
I hope he is.
He's a whack job, dude.
So you don't think it's like a Barstool person or somebody like that running it?
No.
He's fucking. He's wacky. I'm telling you, man.
Well, I agree.
Couldn't
There's
imagine.
no doubt that he is. I think he's giving somebody the ideas, maybe. But do you think he's actually doing the ones making those posts?
Yeah, could you imagine that locker room with him and Le'Veon Bell back then? It's like you look at that, like those two are both bizarre.
I think they had James Harrison on the team too.
Yeah. What was the other guy they had?
Juju dancing around.
Yeah, Juju. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Knock it off.
And they still kicked our ass.
I know. That's the sad thing.
Man,
about
we were terrible.
Yeah.
Duck Hodges.
Well, it's getting to that point where our favorite time is, I wouldn't say our favorite, because I had a really great show today. The birds kind of got me down a little bit, but
what was going on with them birds? You just like murdered them, or like?
No, they actually murdered themselves.
He was cooking dinner, man, on the grill. He was knocking them off the roof on the grill.
I sent pictures in the thing.
I saw, but like I was confused. I thought maybe you killed them, or
no, they killed themselves,
BB
but
gun.
I didn't do anything to remove the bodies until today.
Those are from Christmas of 20.
They might be. They might be.
Ed hid one of his kids' presents up there, and they found it, and they passed out. That's what happened. They forgot about it.
Destroy them birds.
Casey.
Is that you up there?
Yeah.
That's
my neighbor. That's my neighbor. Shout out to Bob, my neighbor. Or
John
shout out to
Your neighbor to go up there.
That's my neighbor. You know what's funny about my neighbor? I love my neighbor, and his initials is Robert Prentice or whatever, like the third. I call him RP3 or instead of RG3, RP3. I love him, by the way. He's my guy.
Hey, climb up your roof. I mean, shit. You got the dead birds out.
I'm not climbing up that shit. I ain't climbing up that shit.
Why, Jeff Hardy, man? You could have went up there and did the.
No. I'm like Roman. I acknowledge me, but guess what? I'm not going to be at the show, if you know what I mean. But we're getting to that point. Closing time. Yeah. Bye. Yep. So here's the deal. Like I said, your time to shine. Say anything you want before next week's show. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I got it. My thing is almost the same as it was a few weeks ago when I was on here.
Okay.
Those fucking Twitter people, man. It's kind of crazy to me.
I love this, Casey. Go at him.
So the topic for this week is Jared Allen. I don't know if I might offend CJ because I'm not sure his take on Jared Allen at the current moment is, but the amount of people that are shit talking. There you go. So you are on this side. The amount of people that are shit talking Jared Allen for not playing in this. Okay. Let me pierce your rib, and I want to see your ass run down the street and back. All these people that are calling him a pussy, all this stuff. He played like 81 games straight. This whole year he's played. He's helped us stay afloat when everyone else was out. Hey, I'm just telling you, man. If I elbow you in the ribs and I fucking screw up your ribs, I think I want to see you run down the field. I want to see you run the bases at with James F. Rhodes, CJ, with fucking pierced ribs, dude. I want to see that. So
could barely.
I'm just saying. I'm saying. So if you put him in the game and he sucks because he's hurt, you're gonna shit talk him for being hurt, right? Without him, we would not have been where we were at with this. So all the people on Twitter who don't even have a picture of themselves, they got a generic ass picture, shit talking, fucking sitting in their parents' basement, 35 years old, overweight, can't even fucking.
Maybe they're 44 years old, Casey.
Yeah, but you could touch a net in a basketball hoop probably if you tried. I don't think these fucks can. And they're out here shit talking Jared Allen again. Without him, we wouldn't have got where we're at. So the ones that are going to shit talk him now, let's just hypothetically say he comes back for the Celtics series, has a strong series. Oh, he's so good. He's the best. Oh my God, I love him. Fuck off. You hopped off the bandwagon now. Same with the Cavs fans that were shit talking and hopping off the bandwagon after we got our ass kicked those games. And now we up even at halftime, like I said earlier. We were getting our ass kicked. They said, "Oh, that fucking cat sucks." See, dogs are barking. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. Don't hop back on this bandwagon now. That's all I'm saying. Stay off.
Stay off. CJ, it's going to be tough to follow that one. Unless your dog's going to do the talking for you.
I don't know what he's barking at. Chip. I don't know what he's barking at. No, I don't know. I don't got much. I think we need to stop bringing the King of the Ring back. I will say that. Unless we're going to do it all in one night, I don't need the King of the Ring coming back.
I mean, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
All tonight on Raw is the King of the Ring.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's such a killer. It's lazy too. Chap, why are you barking? Shut up. And then second thing, 10 years ago today, I think. No, it had to be 20 years ago today. Was it 20 years ago? It had to be 20 years ago.
Bo Naylor's average went down.
It's the greatest game ever. He struck out all them guys.
Manzardo's back up. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So let's see what he does here.
Chap, why are you barking?
Well,
the dog pound's back down there.
My closing thought is what I told Casey in the pregame show. Having a house and being an adult sometimes is no fun.
What do you mean? Your neighbor went up there and got the dead body. I would get it if you had to go up there.
But the stress that it took me to go ask the neighbor, and then you
got to pay him $500 to do it. CJ, you got to do that, dude.
Yeah. No, I did pay him, and it was handsome, like myself. But we got it.
He broke the peanut butter out again.
Damn.
I don't really like peanut butter.
As long as it's Skippy creamy, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, like I said, we had a great
Manzardo, 0-2 count. Let's see how he goes.
He strikes out again.
Yeah, I think he strikes out.
People on Twitter are calling for him to go down to AAA.
Yeah.
I told you.
Manzardo Mania is dead.
Exactly.
26 years ago today, Kerry Wood shook at all them guys. That's all.
Yes, 2020.
Hey, former Cleveland legend, Kerry Wood.
Kerry Wood. Yeah.
Loser. Chip, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I want to thank everybody that tuned in a little bit later tonight because of some bird issues. But we're glad you tuned in. Like I said, we like sports. We like you. We're glad you showed up and we showed out. And we'll be back next week.
Get Kyle Manzardo out of Cleveland quickly. Shout out to this guy right here for already being.